before I get this video started, just want to explain why it's been so long since I've done a video. Naturally, had to get in the right frame of mind, and recent days or so, there's actually been flooding in my home province of Southland, going as far as the next province up, which is Otago. And in total, about 4 or 5 towns had to be evacuated due to the flooding. It got pretty bad, which sucks. But yeah, weather is finally turning for the better, as you can see behind me, due to the sunlight, which is a bit weird because it was pouring with rain about half an hour ago. No, that's Southland, 4 seasons, 1 day. But joking aside, I think it's time we get to business with the video, shall we? Okay. Now, what we're going to do here is actually a bit of a track join thing. Because, as we can see during this line here, this is where the baseboards meet. And right here, solid piece of track. Set track, if I'm honest, but still, solid bit of track. Now, what I'm planning on doing is either replace this section with a bit of flexi, which is a bit time consuming because I got a piece down here ready to grab. Here's my flexi track. The edges are pretty rough, needs trimming and cleaning. And yeah, though it would look better than the flexi, it is pretty space consuming, which blows. Even so, I'll have to cut it off about a sleeper here, and then a fair bit here, just so it fits in this section here, which again sucks. So, since I know the type of rail this is, I'm actually going to try something a bit crazy, and that is completely rip out the points here and here and replace them with these peco points I have. So ripping out the old hornby ones, whoops, get those in shot, and put these peco ones in. Now, this is a simple track set one. This is a streamline one. And the reason I grabbed a streamline here is it's a slight curved point. Means I can start the curvature of the layout a little better now. But yeah. Also means I can actually rip out this and put flexi track in, which I do like doing, because you get a better transition in the curves with flexi than you do with anything else. So, I think what's coming up next is a time-lapse video or something like that of me ripping up the old section and laying in the new. Hopefully it goes well. If not, I'm going to be probably cursing a lot. Thankfully in time-lapse videos, you can't hear such a thing, so that'll be a bit of good news. But yeah, but instead of a small section of flexi like that, I'm going to use a proper length of flexi, meter long piece. That would be about more than enough I need. Got a longer section down here somewhere. Here we go. With pre-weathered sleepers. Yeah, a bit rough, but oh well, it'll work. Whichever section of flexi I have lying around, really, will probably do. if needed, I'll just join two sections together. So let's start work on it. Okay, as we can see, quite a large section of rails now being lifted. I'd say maybe a quarter of the track, running line really. But basically, that's what's needed. As from, if I can get the camera at the right point, as from this point onwards, I'll be using flexi track around the curve there, along the straight, over the joint and to where those points are. I may modify the track a bit more over there to get to fit to how I want it. But it's still progress. And if I bring the camera in closer, we can see the wire joins left. Now those I can easily take out later on. This and this pair, they actually join up, as it were. As you can see by the pencil line here, I actually have a couple of chop blocks underneath with a joint at the baseboard. So I may have to rethink that a bit. I can simply strip the fish plates off and use the existing wires, but that may mean I have to re-drill the holes, which blows. Also, considering where I'm going to be putting my track join, my baseboard join plate, as it were, which is one of these, whoops, which is done by JT Electrics, a nice New Zealand group. It goes here, basically, and there's a screw right there, and I know there's about 10 or 15 mil of timber along here, preventing me from doing a straightforward drill. And wires sticking out at a board would not look very tidy at all. No, it wouldn't. If anything, it would be a big mess. But this is just to get a rough view of where the track's going. And using the sections of set track I have, I think I might be able to get a representation of how the join may look. So, bear in mind, it may look something like that. Somewhat like that, but I can't promise. Got to see how it goes. If it was something like N scale or 009, I could just flip the join like that, and that would actually do a bit better. And I got a old section of 009, section or two of 009 rail lying around from my micro layout project. I'll just lay them out over the piece. Could just do that. So it's a bit universal, this stuff, which I like. But yeah, still blows. Now I'll figure something out. I'll figure something out. Till then, I think I'll just grab myself a quick cuppa, which will help me think, because this side's about 10 mil, this side's about 15 mil timber. Guys, and I'm just looking at the baseboard edge along here. Timber ends about, if the pen works, doesn't. Timber ends about there, and this side it's about there. So that means even if I do have this in place the way I want it, it means I have to drill holes on this side of the line, which would not give a very clean join, would it? Unless I did something like put one each side, which is still quite untidy. Because to keep the track powered, I do honestly need these, which blows. Yeah, looking underneath it, I think I might be able to do a little something, but might be a bit of a chance move. I may have to go, for the moment, go with the ugly wires on the upside approach, because I am going to be using flexi track for this section, and it would be kind of worthless to just have, well, the sections here done with flexi and joined up just so it has a bridge piece here. I mean, that is not tidy, that is not clean. It's not the way I want to do it. It's just a big pain in the butt. Oh well. Now just carefully mark out on the board here where this joint will go, because I can actually see the remnants of the old line anyway, so there. Okay, now I'm going to grab a quick cuppa and have a think on what the heck I'm going to do. Okay. After grabbing, as you can see, another cuppa, and gathering up the flexi track I'll need, I'm going to start laying the track as I normally would, even up to where that is now. It's only when I get to that joint and those stuck up wires over there is when I will actually have to scratch my head and figure out what the blue devil am I going to do. But I'll burn that bridge when I get there. Figuratively, of course, but yeah. Gotta wait and see what happens first. Quite simple. So, I think it's time to set to work. Shall we? Well, I got the preparation all sorted out and I filled up the old wire holes with toothpicks. And thanks to this handy little buzzsaw tool, I was able to get a nice smooth finish on it. Switch back to the wire wheel because I'll need it sooner or later. Track cutting, I'm going to use one of my new tools for that. At the moment, I just got to try and figure out these points. Now I got them linked up so I can actually get an idea. Oh, it's a bit desirable at one end, but oh, a little twist and that'll be okay. At the moment, I just want to try and line it up just right so it starts off the curve, but this bit of track here still joins up nicely. The best I can tell is if I do it like that, I can join this section of track with this, but yeah, that'll be a bit odd. I now have a rough idea of what I'd like, and it's gonna suck. Oh well, I'll see how I can get things to go the way I want. Trial and error and all that, so yeah, should be okay. And with this whole track revisation thing, I'm getting rid of a siding I don't use. So yeah, I think having it like that might be my best bet. I just have to join the rails here, cut a section of track here, rework a section here. It should be alright. Keyword, should be. It's all trial and error when you're not doing it with a track plan system. Instead, you're doing it the old-fashioned way. It's how it suits the eye. And that's how I like it, how it suits the eye. It's how the railway engineers do it, all the way back to Stephenson's days. So, yeah. I like these old school methods a lot better. You don't see many people doing them. And I got a feeling this might be the longest video I do yet. It's starting to feel like it. as we can see here, I'm making progress on the rail line. Just shut the window. Keep the wind out. But yeah, getting a bit close to the edge here, which is not good. I may have to rework some of this a bit, so that'll be about a night's work maybe. And sadly I won't be able to film it all. But yeah, reworking the layout is never easy, I admit. So this is going to be interesting. And we'll see how it works out in the end. Till then, this is Upwell and Onwards saying, see ya.